on this little bit of a rainy day today, in fact. So some of us are probably quite happy to be confined indoors today. And I'm absolutely thrilled to have a long-standing client and possibly now verging on friend. I'm not sure yet, Sue, whether you'd agree with that one, but Sue Connolly. Sue has a fascinating story, as has everyone who I invite into these Q&As, around her and her lovely pony Dolly. So Sue, welcome.
Welcome. Hello.
And just tell us a little bit about how it is that you came to be working with Fly and Changes coaching.
Well, I met you nearly a year ago, actually. We met at camp last year, confidence camp in June. I'd been recommended to you by someone who had a horse at my yard, because I've sort of had an ongoing confidence issue that I'd sort of beaten around and hidden and sort of shied away from and put in a drawer and sort of run away from for about 3 years. And then I thought, you've got to get hold of this because it's just getting silly now. And then I rang you and your free phone call, and you said we had a chat, and I went to camp, and it was just like someone had basically blown the candle out on the lid and stopped the chicken dancing and opened my world up.
You have always had the best analogies. I love them. I absolutely love your analogies. I know, Sue, one of the ones you coined once, which I just adored, was, well, confidence doesn't come in cans, does it? And we started discussing whether or not we ought to do a range of confidence in cans and see how it went.
We were going to sell it at camp.
Yeah, we were. We were making a fortune out of selling water in a can, and telling people it was confidence to see what happened. So a lot has changed in that time. So just tell us a little bit then about what it was that meant that you came to camp, you got in touch. What was going on for you right then?
Well, I sort of come from the my mum and dad were Irish, and it's like anyone who says if you're Irish you must be able to ride, because you tend to, everyone just, I've always ridden, I've always loved horses. I had horses when I was a child. No fear, no issues, get up, get on, get going. I wasn't a pony club member. I wasn't posh. Well, you can tell by my accent. I wasn't sort of, in the niche. We're from South London, so we didn't have a pony club around where we were. And sort of, did shows and everything. And then as you get older, schooling and education, university, getting a job, and so the horses went. And then I sort of got back into riding about 10, maybe 12, 15 years ago, and rode at a local riding school, which was brilliant. And then I decided when I hit 50, I'm going to buy myself my own horse, and I ended up with this lovely horse, Dolly. In between sort of riding at the riding school and buying the horse, I'd always gone home and done cross country, which is my passion. I can't get dressage. It's just not my thing. It's too hard for me. I can't do straight lines and just things like that. Anyway, and then I had an accident at home when I was cross-country schooling, and I had a rotational fall. And I've fallen off a lot. I mean, I've lost teeth, I've broken bones, and I've had a lot of accidents. But I had this one accident, and I watched Abby last week, and total respect to her. Thank God I didn't have any really serious injuries physically, but mentally it stopped me riding. And I sort of went back when I came home. I went back to riding at the riding school, and the instructors, they were great, and they were great confidence givers. And then I came up with this great plan to buy a horse, and I'd never really sealed the issue with the confidence. And I sort of lied to myself that I had, and I sort of go out and do it because everyone else was doing it. But there was always something in the back of my mind. Anyway, I bought this horse, and she was fantastic. She was young, and it sort of crept in slowly. It's the weirdest thing. I can't really explain it. I remember trying to explain it to you on the phone originally. I can see myself doing things, and I put my hand up to do it, and say I'm going to do it, but when it comes to the crunch, I never actually do it. I always back out. I'm known as the best person to hold gates open in Surrey. At any opportunity to get out of something, I'll hold a gate open. Here, come this way, I'll hold the gate, or you ride my horse, or you try first and then I'll have a go after. And that's when I spoke to someone and they said, I know someone who will help you, and it was you. And that's how we met.
Isn't it? So you came to camp. So tell us about your experience at camp then.
So I went and bought, because I was going to camp, I then went, to add more pressure to myself, I then went and bought a trailer and a big car, and I hadn't actually towed anything for quite a while. So not only was I going to confidence camp to sort myself out with my new young horse, I thought I'd throw in learn to drive a trailer through Surrey at the same time as well. And I did. I got to camp, didn't kill anyone on the way. She seemed fine. And everyone was lovely. It was a really small group. The weather, I think previously you'd had this amazing weather, and all the pictures on the site had pictures of women walking around in bikini tops and vests and everything. So I packed everything like that, and it peed down the whole weekend, and we had to hide every opportunity. It was just horrendous. Anyway, but they were a really lovely set of people. They were all really, it was lovely. The first day you said, we're going to talk about everyone's issues now, and they never mention them again. And it was a great feeling of, real team spirit, I feel like that, and I feel like that, and I've got that. And it wasn't embarrassing to say I don't want to do it, and it wasn't embarrassing to cry, and it wasn't embarrassing to just walk away. And it was just a real team effort, a real good group of people, and it was fantastic. My issues were, I was scared to hack, I was scared to canter into any fences. I felt that as soon as I start to canter, I'd lose control, she'd go too fast, and I'd have another rotational fall. And hacking, I thought she'd spook and things like that. And I came out of camp at the other end of it. I'm hacking, she's still spooking, but it doesn't scare me as much, and I know it's coming, and I know what to do. And the jumping, I've got my old instructor, Fran, who worked at the riding school, is now freelance, and we have a session every other week. The cantering is coming. We're doing courses now, which we never did before. So it's good, really good.
And so something that's been really interesting in your journey was that you had this fall, and you thought you were over it and it was fine, and you kind of did things, and you now know that you built coping mechanisms in, but of course you didn't know that at the time. And it's really common for people to kind of go, oh, it's all right, I'm over that now, like it's okay, I can crack on, it was only a fall, it doesn't even bother me anymore, and just kind of carry on, but keep hitting these unlogical brick walls. Like it's suddenly like you don't want to canter over a cross pole, and it's not logical, but the way that most people come at it is with a logical approach, isn't it? What did you notice was the biggest difference for you of changing your mindset to I can just get over this to actually, do you know what, I need some help?
Oh God, that's a really good question, because for me, I have got a brilliant friend, Tina, who has just held my hand all the way along on this. She was there when I had the fall in Ireland. When you have confidence issues like I do, it gets so bad that people say, oh, the red mist came over me and I started punching everywhere. I used to get into such a zone where I would freeze. I couldn't speak. I'd literally go blind. I can't see. I get tunnel vision. I'd panic. And it sounds so stupid. And so many people said to me, oh, don't worry, you'll get over it. And that's where the whole I'll just shut up and ignore it, and I'll ride my way out of it. That doesn't happen. You need to talk to someone who understands. Just by someone saying pull yourself together is not going to work. And so I basically, what we've been doing is, for me, the biggest thing was making the picture, looking at it properly, and looking at the big picture, and then making it smaller and taking little things on the journey. And then it sounds weird, but at the end of it, it will open up into a larger picture. And never, ever, ever say to yourself, I can't do this, or I won't do this. You can do this. I'm the last person who would believe all this hocus pocus, like I can make you do it again. I used to be a heavy smoker, and I went and had 6 sessions in hypnosis. Every single time there was a woman walking down the road with flip-flops on, I was listening to her and not this fella telling me, oh, you'll be able to stop the smoking. I'm not one of those people. But truly, if I can do this, anyone can. It's totally If you really want to do it, you can do it. And the thing is to start small. Don't think you're going to open a book, read it, and it's all going to go away. And it's you in control as well. So small steps is what's worked for me, really has worked for me. And talking to people and knowing, and people knowing that you've got confidence issues. And once you're over that, it's a bit like being an alcoholic. They say if you're an alcoholic and you go and see someone and say, I'm an alcoholic, say those words, that's half the battle. And I think, and it's half of it's gone. And then you're on your journey. And it's exactly like me saying, hello, Jenny, I'm Sue. I've got confidence issues. Can you help me, please?
And it was quite a big relief for you. I remember actually when you went, yeah, I'm going to do this. I remember the relief that came over you of actually someone's got my hand now. Someone's going to support me.
Yeah, definitely.
And it wasn't just a case of my instructor or someone. It was a case of someone who understands this stuff and actually knows how to fix it. That's the thing, isn't it? So many people might understand the stuff. They've read the book, but do they actually know how to fix it? It's a bit like, I understand that you can go in and you can change one heart for another in heart surgery, but like I would never actually do it because I don't know how, but I know it can be done.
Yeah, and also a lot of people talk a good game as well. You get these people going, I read that book, yeah, that bloke who said that, and you just think, oh God, what the hell are you going to come up with now? Sort of like start drinking salted cocoa or something, it'll sort you out. No, it doesn't. People can't see when you have it's so blind, you are so blinded. It's just that I can't really explain it. And it's for me, such a confident person. And my job is I will drag something out of you, or things like that. Is that it's just so hard to explain. But the best thing is talking about it. It is. People say to me, oh, is it a bit like a mental health issue? Yes, it is. Because if you lack confidence, you then it evolves, it grows and grows and grows. And that's why if you speak to someone about it, that's half the battle gone. And the benefit is you meet this amazing set of people. I've got friends from camp now that won't leave me alone. They keep ringing, keep texting me, and no, but you meet a lot of people, and the instructors are fantastic as well, and everything's done at your pace, because that's the other thing is people who go and have lessons once a week, or and then they come out of the lesson going, oh my God, I can't believe I did it, I trotted today, or I cantered today, and then you leave it a week and you go back in and you're a bit like, oh, I'm not really sure if I can do this again. Well, you did it last week, yes, but that was last week, and I've had a bad week, I'm feeling a bit crap. And also there's a great stigma around riders. Oh yeah, I've been round Blenheim, I've done this, I've done that. I haven't been around the park for a year, so I can't say things like that. I want to be better, but I can't, and they sort of look down at you as if you should be able to do all these amazing things, and but it's an embarrassing subject, having lack of confidence, not only in riding but in life, and you sort of pat them on the head and send them away, and so I don't know. Yeah, get someone who knows what they're talking about, unlike me.
But I just love the fact that you're happy to share this with people today, because I wouldn't normally ask a client to come on a Q&A because you're a client, but I think because we've got to know each other so well over the year and things, and actually you've been very out about a lot of this stuff, putting it on Adventures with Dolly, the Facebook page, and saying things to people and being open and honest about it, and saying, do you know what, actually there shouldn't be a stigma about this. Like, I think it's a lot better in recent years, and I don't know whether that's because I'm in this field and so I think it is, or whether it really is better that people are now able to talk about mindset and confidence and things like that. And I think coaches are becoming better for it. And I mean, I'm training coaches in it, so obviously people are more open. But do you think there is still a stigma about it? What's your kind of thoughts on it from your perspective?
I think once you sort of explain to people that I think when people realise that, so when I had my fall, I walked away from it, and I actually got on after and rode again that whole weekend and everything, and then I don't know why I really didn't associate my fall with my lack of confidence. I cracked on and went and had my weekly lesson, and still was a bit lacking in confidence, and then it just sort of snowballed, and then I went, and and it's I don't know really. I think that if I think there can be a bit of a stigma in it, but when people hear about why you do lack confidence, then they get a bit of pity as well. So you've got lack of confidence and pity to throw on the pile. But when they see how hard the battle is, it is like giving up smoking or stopping drinking or sort of that sort of thing. It really shows how hard and determined you are. Then they have a bit more. I'm not saying all riders have that, but a lot of people do sort of say, "Oh, what a shame," sort of thing. But and you want, no, I want you to help me. Tell me how to be a great rider like you, and they can't because you're not, and not everyone's the same. That's the thing. But it is so good when you go to camp and you look at people and you say, what's your issue? And they say, oh, I can't get on, or I can't do this. And you think, oh, I can get on. So mine isn't as bad as I thought it was. And then you talk to them about, well, she's, but once I'm on, I can do this. All right, okay. Well, can I trade you that one for this one? And you realise that it's good because everyone's talking so openly about it. And no, I don't think the stigma is as bad. I mean, years ago, and riding's still seen as such an elite sport, but we all know it's not. It's costly, but it's like it's an addiction, isn't it? It's our cocaine or our alcohol. We have to have it in life. But no, so stigma-wise, no, I don't think it's as bad as it used to be. And I don't see it at all on Adventures with Dolly. I see a lot of support. In fact, Tina comes everywhere with me and people keep applying for me to rent her out to go with them. So I think I'm getting a bit of a side business going here with loaning out this 60-odd-year-old woman.
I think you ought to pimp Tina out. I think this could be maybe your retirement fund. I wonder if Tina's watching, but hey Tina, watch out, I'm just going to start pimping you. But I think having that supportive friend, though, isn't it? It makes all the difference. So, one of the things that I absolutely love about where I have my horses, my friend support is just incredible. Like, there's 4 or 5 of us that genuinely will hold each other through the bad days and lift each other in the good and genuinely care about what each other does. And that just makes all the difference, doesn't it? Having that support around you.
Oh, yeah, I've got fantastic support. So I'm based in Surrey and my livery yard is just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. There's not one person on that yard who's been disrespectful. They're all so supportive. My horse is on livery and they ride her for me in the week, and literally you can send her a list and say, oh, she didn't like this or she didn't like that. And all the way through when I was going to camp, even when I was at camp, every day I was at camp, she was texting me going, how's it going? Is everything all right? Do you need anything? Has she got enough of this? And your backroom staff are what you need. My backroom staff. I'm going around bloody badminton. I've been around once. Well, actually, I've been around 4 times on foot, but that's as close as I'll ever get, I think. But they're brilliant. Lynn will always help me sort out, if you've got an issue with this or this or this, or if I'm feeling a bit, I'm feeling quite good today, and she'll say, right, would you like to go in the school and try and jump this, that? And in fact, she'll push you a little bit as well, but she'll know how not far to push you. And then every livery will say, what are you doing today? Would you like to, I'm hacking, do you want to come with me, or have a good ride? So yeah, support is vital for me anyway, absolutely vital. And that they've all been absolutely brilliant. And around where we are, we're really blessed. We're having massive long hacks, and so they'll each say, like when I started back hacking, do you want to go a little bit more? Do you want to go a little bit more? Or do you want to go home? Or yeah, you're right. Teamwork and team support is absolutely everything to me.
And so you've got to have your wider team around you. You've got to have those kind of people, and they've got to be the ones that genuinely are trying to help you, not like just niggle you or put you down a little bit just to make themselves feel better or anything like that, which we do come across in the horsey world. But I'm particularly interested in what it is that makes Tina such a helpful mate, because we've all got great mates, right, that are with us. We like having them around, but some people have got the kind of friend that they kind of go, well, I think they're trying to be helpful, but actually they're not, that they're actually just not being helpful. Like ultimately they might be trying to, but they're either doing it in a way that's just really not helpful, or actually they're trying to keep me down so they feel better, or things like that. So, but Tina, oh my goodness, what a lovely lady she is. She's in every way different to that, isn't she? So how has she really helped you? What kind of mate do we need to go and find, and how much can we pay for Tina?
Oh, I don't know, gin usually with Tina, as much as you can carry. No, seriously, she's been fantastic. So I think one of the things that really stood out for me was so I used to ride with Tina at our riding school. We used to have lessons together, and bits and pieces like that. And we all sort of went to Blenheim or badminton, and then I bought my horse, and Tina got hers as well, and we sort of hacked together and everything. But her outstanding quality is that she listens. She doesn't assume that what she says is right or what you say is right. She always says, how are you feeling? What would you like to do today? She will never push me. Well, this is actually, let's take that back. So this is for the first sort of 6-9 months. It was really encouraging. Back, she came to second camp with me and loved it. And she's always very encouraging. She's always got the sun on her face and the shadow behind her. She never has dark, that, well, as far as I know. I'm saying that I've got all the bloody, I'm on the spotlight all the time and she's not, but as far as I know, she's never she will speak to you all the time about how she feels. But one of the main things is that I lost my mum last year, and when I started this journey in June, and I never thought all the way along I thought I knew my mum was ill, but I never thought she'd die. Now, when you've got lack of confidence, and then your legs are kicked from under you when having your mum or your dad die, you can use it, and this is not being disrespectful, to add into the reason why you can't do something. I can't do this, I'm too upset. But Tina all the time kept saying to me, you can do this, you can prove yourself, you can deal with life-changing situations, but you could and ride through it. And she was completely right, because when I did ride through it, I actually realised my confidence wasn't as bad as I thought it was, because I'd so focused on my confidence, I was forgetting about, it sounds weird, I was so focused on my confidence and how bad it was, and I focused on something else. I realised my confidence wasn't as bad. I rode and I didn't even remember sitting there thinking, she's going to spook, something's going to happen. I mean, literally, I would ride along going, she won't like this, there's a tree coming, there's a man 20 foot away and stuff. I didn't even think of that. I got on my horse and I thought about my mum, and I rode for the longest time I had. And my friend actually said to me, horses have great empathy, not sympathy. And Dolly was and has been since then. So Tina has been instrumental, absolutely instrumental to me, since we had our conversation about 2 months ago. And you said, well, you've got to shake it up now, Sue. You've got to tell Tina not to do as you say. If she wants to go riding she wants to hack for longer, let her hack for longer. And I told her that, and I went for a hack with her. And I said, I think I've had enough of that, Tina. And she went, well, I don't care. Jenny says I can go as long as I want. And just turned around and buggered off. And I thought, right, okay, thanks, love. So I was like trundling after her, because then my confidence was going, oh my God, I can't go home on my own in case something happens to me. So I ended up going out for a 4-hour hack.
Sorry. Sometimes we give you things to do and we don't know quite how they're gonna work, but we have to see them play out to get some useful information on them. And I didn't realise that Tina would do that. Mind you, I didn't tell Tina. You could have not told her, to be fair. I mean, you could have actually not said that to her.
Yeah,
but
you can't lie, though. You can't lie. It's not good. It's not good.
So one of the stories that I remember you telling me, which I absolutely love, was the story of the treasure hunt day. Do you mind just telling us that? Absolutely brilliant. I was crying with laughter when you told me about the treasure hunt.
So we I'm a member of a riding club, and if any of you aren't, join. They're brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I don't do anything for the riding club. They're all much better than me, so I've never actually been a member of the riding club, but I signed up. Anyway, so they have this treasure hunt. So I thought, right, okay, what we'll do is we'll go on this treasure hunt. Tina came with me, and it ended at 12. So we it'd been really wet and windy, and the weather, the sort of weather I hate to ride in, anything like, ugh. So we finally get there, and it's only at the end of our road. So we rock up, and this woman comes around the corner on her horse going, oh, I did it in 56 minutes or something. And Tina went, well, she's older, she's younger than me, I ain't having that. We went off like we're on Epsom Downs. We flew down this sand track, we had to pick these things up as we went along. We did it in about 52 minutes. It's the longest, and I got a rosette. It's the first ever rosette I've ever won on my horse. I've never shifted so fast. I don't know what came over her. She was like a mad woman. And it ended up that, oh, there was cake at the end. That was it. They promised us cake if we won. And it ended up that, again, it's another confidence thing, is that I didn't even think about my confidence when I was on it. I was more so catching up with the 65-year-old woman who was running around like a headless chicken in front of me. Absolutely amazing. But no, she's, that's why you need a Tina in your life. She's available to hire at any, just text me and I can, or message me on Facebook and I can loan her out to you.
Cool. So I was just replying to a comment there, but I didn't quite get time. So Nadia has asked which riding club, because I'm going to join you. It's West Surrey, isn't it, that you're part of?
It is.
Other riding clubs are available.
Well, actually, I have two now, West Surrey and, oh God, I can't remember the other one, Newlands Corner, because they've got this amazing thing. So if you like cross country, but you don't want to go out in the middle of nowhere because you're scared that this horse will do something you shouldn't do and you're out in the middle of God knows when you can't be seen, but you don't like show jumping, but you want to be enclosed, what you can do is they've got this equicross, which is cross country fences in a field that's contained. And we did it last year and it was fantastic, absolutely brilliant. And it's one fence in a field about 8 times and you can just go around like a mad woman. And you know, you don't have to go out into the middle of nowhere. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, riding clubs. Yeah, right, Nadia.
Oh no, not another collaboration between you lot. Oh heck, I do wonder sometimes what I've started here. The group of people that are involved with flying changes that are like our groupies are just mega, so much fun. But I do sometimes think, oh heck, what are they doing now?
Like Shelley, barrel racing.
Oh,
you know,
yes.
some of us
Shelley.
can't even get on our horse, but she wants American style barrel racing at the confidence camp.
Yeah, I mean, some of the suggestions that I do sometimes get for camp, I have to kind of rein in a little, but it's great. I think it's lovely. And so, you know, I mean, this is sounding like it's just a big advert for camp. It's not. And in actual fact, we're not even sure if June camp's going to run at the moment. We've got to look into that, unfortunately. But camps will continue somehow. And there is an August one as well. But and it's full, so it certainly is not a marketing ploy for camp. If anyone's listening and thinking, oh, they've just said they're going to market camp, but camp though is such a group of fun people, and even if you don't know anyone, because you came on your own to the first one, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
And now, like you say, they won't leave you alone, will they? Some of them are even on here pestering you now.
I remember going to camp and it sounds weird, but when we went to camp, you said, hello everyone, I'm Jenny. We're not doing anything tonight, and apart from drinking, which you drunk a lot of at camp, but go for a hack. Everyone go for a hack. And I thought, Christ, I can't even go for a hack. How am I going to survive this weekend? And they said, and everyone went off and had a hack. And I remember Ali said to me, "You're not going?" And I said, I can't hack. That's the thing. When we were at Parwood, and it was enclosed, and I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And I remember focusing so much on the fact that I couldn't hack my horse because I was scared to, and I didn't know the surrounding, I didn't know the people, and it wasn't like, you know, you were asking us to cross, you know, the Alps or anything in a day. It was just literally to go around a square and come back, and I didn't go, and it was just, I just thought, oh my God, I'm never going to get through this whole weekend. Anyway, we had the weekend. And when I went back to ride, I had a week off and then went back to ride, and I thought, I'm going to go and hack. I'm going to go out, and everyone was like, oh, you're hacking, you know. And I was like, oh, well, I'm only going to go up the road. And Lynn said to me, right, so you're leaving now, it's 3. So what time will you be back? And I was like, I'm literally going up there, and I videoed it. Do you remember? And I sent it to you, and I cantered up the hill on my own, and it was the just best. It sounds so stupid, but it was like the biggest achievement. And of that whole weekend was that my focus was, I'm going to do this. I am really going to do that. I can do this. I can, and I will do this. And I live by that mantra now, is don't set your task, your goal so big. Make it small and break it down and do it bit by bit, and then do it all together. And you can, honestly, it's all about goals. I mean, I'm doing the Premier Transformation, isn't it, with you? which is a year-long program. And at the start, you think, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this, but I've signed up, so I'll give it a go. And I've actually surprised myself that I've actually got this far, because I even signed up to do something at Packersham, which now sadly isn't on. But I've done things that I never thought I'd ever do. I mean, I'm nowhere near as good as all these people you've had on, like off doing whatever. But I can't believe I'm hacking again, and like doing riding club things. Well, I'm not, because obviously no one's doing anything. But like, you know, and I actually had a summer thing planned, and I don't have to beat myself up and things like that. And I can't honestly, I can't recommend you enough. You've been absolutely brilliant. And do you remember when we dealt with my voice in my head? I kept talking myself out of things. I beat myself up.
I was going to ask you about that, because we've mentioned cake and gin, and I think cake and gin has definitely been part of your journey. And one of the things that I have to be really careful with when I work with people is understanding them enough to know what will motivate them and what will demotivate them or scare them off. Because once we'd got over the things that actually in your brain were holding you back, which you didn't even know were, things like accidents and bits and pieces and you know, past things, once we'd gone over that and dealt with those, we then had to convince you that we had. And the way to do that is to then get you to start doing things. And sometimes people kind of readily start doing that, and other times people need a bit of a push. And I do remember thinking, right, come on, Sue, I know you're competent and capable. I know you are. I've seen you riding. I'm fully aware that what you want to be doing at this point in time, you are perfectly competent and capable to do. I also knew your mate Tina had said, yes, she can do what she wants to do. Like, it's fine. It's only the confidence, the fear that holds her back. Like, she's physically capable, so is her pony, because we do have to check that. It's really important. So I was like, right, okay, do you know what, Sue? Like, pants down, get on with it now, as you always say. I don't know if it's pants down or pants up. I'm never sure whether it's brave pants on or pants down and get on with it. It's one of those, isn't it? It's definitely to do with pants. But yeah. Right. But yeah, and I remember thinking, right, she just needs to do this thing now. Like, actually, she just keeps talking herself out of it. That's all it is. What can we do? And so I did something that I don't very often do with people, but I knew it was the right thing for you, which was I set you a bet. We had a bet, didn't we? And I said to you, there is no reason now why you cannot canter over those poles. You are talking yourself out of it now, and you are pulling back to trot stride beforehand. And you really don't need to be doing that now. I know you're fine. I've just got to push you, as Ant Middleton likes to call it, into the fear bubble so you can pop it and come back out the other side and realise you're fine. Well, apparently it's something to do with knickers. It's swing your knickers in the air. That was it.
It's Nadia, isn't it?
It's Nadia. That's it. Swing those knickers in the air and get on with it, I think. We're going to have to get some t-shirts done, aren't we? They're going to say things like swing your knickers, confidence comes in cans, all this stuff. Anyway, if there's any t-shirt manufacturers out there, let me know. And I see you've got your team, what's that, hashtag Team Adventures With Dolly?
Brilliant place online that does all this, come on.
Oh, right, we're getting those then. We're getting swing your knickers. Anyway, so if anyone wants a swing your knickers t-shirt, let me know. So yes, so I was like, right, how do I get her to swing these knickers now? She keeps like putting them back in the drawer. So I did a bet, and I don't normally do this, but it's about motivation, isn't it? It's about finding enough of a consequence if you don't do something, and a reason for why you do want to do it. Now, we knew all the reasons why you did want to do it, but there just weren't any consequences because you hadn't had any, and you were letting yourself off the hook by holding the gate for someone, because there was no consequence to if you didn't go through that bloody gate, you'd get stuck the wrong side of it. So I think the bet was something along the lines of, if I don't have evidence, because you couldn't just come back and tell me, I had to like know. So it was like a video of it, or Tina was going to tell me, I think, of you cantering straight over that fence. And we're talking cross pole that was well within your capability. We weren't pushing it because there's no point in doing that. If you don't do it, you got to pay me another 200 quid. And if you do it, you can have chocolate cake, which was enough of a thing for you, wasn't it? And tell us what happened that day.
I did it.
You did?
Yeah, I did it. Absolutely. I worked myself up. I didn't sleep the night before. I drank heavily the night before. Didn't sleep. Woke up. Voices in my head. I thought, I'm not doing this. I'm going to do this. I'm not paying her any more money. No way at all. Fran came. We had a lesson before. We set the poles up. Gave Tina the camera, and I did it. Yeah, I can't show you because Tina videoed the floor. Do you remember?
Yes, I do. Yeah, that's a bit like my friend Ali videoing an entire 90-minute presentation for me in slow motion. So sometimes we can't really rely on our friends for these things, can we? But yeah, But yeah, okay, so I had to take your word for it. But so, and I wouldn't normally do that normally, but I just knew that you had to just get on with it. Like there was no reason why you couldn't, because we'd worked through all the stuff. Like I wouldn't normally do that, because normally we have to work through things, but we've done it, haven't we? And it was just, what was stopping you? What was holding you back? I mean, you know, 200 quid, like, okay, you know, yeah, you don't really want to give me it, but it wasn't about that, was it? It was more than that. It must have been.
Yeah, I think also the other thing you said to me, one of the things about holding yourself back is that you create this bubble that you live in of I haven't got any confidence, and you get all these people to help you, and then you start to gain confidence, and that bubble decreases, and then that's a change in your life, and you've had all this support all the way along. I know we've had this conversation last time, Jenny, when we had our one-to-one, and then it gets to a stage where you find you don't need those people, but your confidence is growing, so your bubble starts to shrink, and you think your support is then going, so then you think, actually, I need these people in my life to support me. But then, as you said to me, they're not going away because they're not your friends, they're your friends now. You don't need that support, and you can get a bit cocooned with this, oh, you know, everything revolves around me and my confidence, because you carried it for so long. But once you start to gain confidence, you think you're going to does that make sense, that you're going to lose that support? That support's always there, but you've just relied heavily on it, and now it's your time to give that support to someone else and say to someone, I've been there, I've done it, I'm proving if I can do it, you can do it. I'm not over my journey yet. I'm definitely not over my journey yet. I still worry when I hack. I still panic when I jump, but I make a point now of saying, no, we're doing it, and that's it. Or, you know, I'll change the subject, or I don't know, do anything, do something. Havering, I do a lot of the havering all the time. I'm a big believer in it, absolutely big believer in it. But it's just focusing on the good stuff and not the bad stuff, and not letting that little chatter kick off in your head, because once it starts, it's very hard to contain it. It sounds so stupid when you talk about having lack of confidence when you ride. Honestly, I can't. This whole thing makes it sound like I'm sort of a mad woman, but it's that it becomes the only thing you want to conquer in life. And when you're so confident elsewhere and you can't conquer this, you know, I can't put my finger on it, but it's when you meet someone who says I can help you and doesn't do it in a derogatory manner, and they don't belittle you, and they encourage you and support you, and then you say, it's like sending it. I think your example of at camp, you said, I have a child and I'm holding its hands and teaching it to walk, and then you take your hands away and the child stumbles, but it still goes up and moves forward. Always move forward, always. Never look back. Never, never, never look back. That's gone. You can't stop that now. You can't change that. But you can, you know, see what you want, and it's in your grasp. It does sound absolute cobblers. Honestly, I sound like an ad on one of those American TV shows.
Now you know the problem with marketing this stuff, don't you? Like, you know, like there you are, genuinely someone who doesn't believe in bollocks saying that, and it's like, I just said to her, you need to come on this Q&A, because actually you're real and people will really associate with you, and it doesn't matter whether you haven't jumped around badminton. That's not the point. There are so many more people that haven't jumped around badminton than there are that have, and they want to hear your story because it's real and it's true and it's exactly where they are, and they'll be sat there going, oh my god, that's exactly how I'm feeling right now, you know. That's why I asked you to come on it. It sounds like a big marketing ploy, but I can absolutely assure you, I didn't expect her to say any of this lovely stuff. Like, you know, I knew she wouldn't sit there and go, no, you're shit, like, don't bother. But, you know, it's hard to market, because how do you market this stuff? You know, like you need someone like yourself saying, oh my God, this just sounds like some American advert. And it's like, well, yeah, because that's what they're saying is true.
Yeah, but it's also, I went, you know, I'll be truthful, Jenny, you're not the first person I spoke to about helping with my confidence. And I went to see other people, and they said, oh, it's hypnosis. And like I said to you, I tried that with the fags, it didn't work. And it was this whole thing of, you've got to do this and do that and drink this and eat this sort of, no, it's not. It's honestly, don't listen to it. It's all about you. It's all about, it is all about you. And people go, oh, it's all about you, is it? Yes, it is. It's about you. And you have to believe in yourself that you can do this, and you can do it. And like I say, if I can do it, anyone can do it. And it's just take your time, put your hand up and say to someone, I'm, you know, I say I don't want to ride. I do want to ride, but I'm scared to ride. That is half the battle over. And then talk to someone and say, can you help me with my confidence? And also read those books with the bloke with the thing in his arm, dragging it and stuff that you recommended. That's good. That.
I'm not going to recommend that book because that one's so deep. We only get to that at a certain point if you're ready. Yeah, no, that one was a bit but it was a good book anyway. But yeah, no, I think you're right in that some way actually you've got to be a bit selfish, because for most of us it's our hobby, it's what we enjoy, it's you know, it is something that we are selfish about, i.e. it's in our blood. It's like heroin. You're entirely right. I think it's far more addictive, but at least I suppose it's better for us. I think it costs probably a bit more as well, but I think if you have a horse or you ride horses and you really want to overcome an accident or a problem, and like you say, you may not even have known that it was an accident that caused it, but you know where you're at now, you know what the problem is. You've got to get selfish about it, because no one's going to fix it for you. No, there is no magic pill. Much as we would love to develop a magic pill, by God, it would make my job easier if I could just give you a can of confidence and a pill and off you go, wave your knickers in the air and you're done. You know, it would be amazing, wouldn't it? But it takes some selfishness in a way, doesn't it, to say, actually, do you know, I'm going to invest in me now. Like, this is important enough and it's bothering me enough. And I'd love it if people didn't get to the point where it bothers them enough. I'd love it if they actually were proactive about it. But hey, that's the nature of the beast, you know, and say, this is for me now, because you've certainly done that bit.
So what? I mean, I'm not saying that the accident I had at home was the reason why I lost my confidence. I was always a bit flaky around the edges when it came to riding anyway. I mean, I was a decent rider when I was younger. I used to love, my passion is cross country. I don't really want to do, I can imagine some people were sort of saying, oh, good dressage. I can't, I can't do it, can't. And I like show jumping, but I love cross country. I love it. I just want to ride, jump something, and ride and jump something. But I was always a bit flaky before that. But really, that fall knocked me. And then I'd had my horse, and about a year, and I was still, oh no, I'm fine. And I went out on New Year's Eve on my own. And this is when I rang you. And before, the reason why I rang you. And I was out, and this woman and this man, and the funny hat on thing, appeared on the bridleway, and Dolly spun and half went up and then spun the other way, and I got off quickly because I thought she was going to go up and then tank off, and I was on my own. And I walked her home on my own, and I cried all the way home. And I got back to the yard, and Lynn said to me, what's the matter? I was just distraught. And she'd come up and hit me in the face. I'd lost my tooth. I'd really hurt myself. And I was absolutely distraught that what have I done? I bought this horse. I can't ride it. I really want to ride it. And then I went through this whole, does this horse suit you? Should you have this horse? Does it match? You know, because you say sometimes people, I want a 17-2, you know, stunning looking horse that rides like a 14-2 pony with wheels attached. You don't buy those horses, sadly. And I went through this whole, and I went to sell her, and I put her up for sale, and someone came to see her, and they were like, oh my God, she's amazing. You can do this. This is my 12-year-old daughter doing this, and she jumped around this and that and this. And I got home, and I remember saying to my other half, I don't know what I'm doing here. I really don't know. Why am I doing this? What? And he said, you need to sort out what you want. Stop clutching at things. By selling this horse, are you sorting the problem? Or are you just moving the problem? Because the problem's not the horse, Sue. She's done nothing wrong. The problem's you. And you buy another horse, he'll have the same problem. And he'll inherit the problem that Dolly's got. And it's not anything to do with the horse, it's you. And that's when I rang you. And so you need to really look at, stop chasing, stop hiding, and stop burying things and saying it's because of this and this and this and this and this. And it comes down to, it's you. It's your lack of confidence, and nothing to be ashamed about. But if you talk to someone about it, they can help you deal with it. you know, and you can start back by hacking or even getting on. Some people won't even get on their horses, and people are embarrassed by that. Don't be. Put your hand in the air and say, I've got an issue. Can you help me, please? Because there's so many of us out there who need support or want to help because they've been down that road and they've had that support, and then they can help you.
Yeah, I think that's great. And I think the other thing is, you know, there are some people that can't get on, but once they're on, they'll jump around badminton. There are some people that would much rather be in a school than out hacking, and others that hate the idea of a school and would rather be out cross country every day of the week. So, you know, we are all individual. We're all so individual. And at the end of the day, is what do you want? Because there's so many options, aren't there? So many options. Cool. Okay. Well, I mean, that it's just been, you know, I can chat to you for hours, Sue. It's been brilliant, and thank you so much. You know, is there anything that you feel you want to share or say to people, or like that we haven't covered that you think, actually, do you know what, I just want to share that or tell them that, or any other slogans we can put on t-shirts perhaps?
I don't think so. I just think I mean, we obviously when you go to camp, we've got this private little Facebook group that we all talk to each other or explain things and stuff, and it's hilarious, and they're such good fun. But that's the other thing I love, is that if you say I'm feeling really bad today, or you had a bad ride, you know, a bad ride, or something's happened or something like that, you can go and talk to people about it, you know, because sometimes you bang on it about it at the yard and you just see people going, oh God, not again, here she comes, you know, sort of thing. But no, I would just say literally it's been brilliant, and I'm so disappointed that I haven't completed my year, you know, because that's the other thing I meant to say, is that having this lockdown time, what I'd like to know, you know, what people's ideas are or thoughts are on them returning to riding when they've got confidence issues. Has it made them think, I'm going to do this, I'm going to actually, as they use their time, because I'm ready to go now. I can't wait to get out and do all this. See, this is the thing with me. I can't wait to get out there and do it. I'm going to be doing this. Ask me 2 weeks after lockdown and I'll be saying, like, you know, I haven't got on because I can't get my britches on. They're too tight. I've eaten too much cheese while I've been on lockdown. Been lying through my teeth again. But I've really used this for, like, right, I'm going to do this. I love it so much. I can't wait to ride again. I absolutely cannot wait to ride again.
I think there's probably going to be lots of different ways that people are experiencing lockdown and therefore coming back into riding as well, because, you know, I know you can't go and see your horse and you can't ride your horse as you're like me, you're in lockdown, and so for us, we're yearning to ride. Like, if you take something away from someone, their desire for it grows, which interestingly enough was said by, I think it was the Shadow Health Secretary or someone like that, when she was asked the question of you know, well, what do you think is going to happen with people's mental health from lockdown? And her answer was, well, actually, do you know what? At least they've got to exercise once a day because they can't do anything else now. So maybe they'll start exercising properly. And then actually, if you take something away from them, they'll probably appreciate it more. So I'm hoping they'll all come out healthier. I just thought, I mean, it was quite a glib comment, but it was like, there's some truth to that, which is that you take something away, people want it more. So how much do we want our freedom right now? Like crazy. But how much did we take it for granted when we had it? And so there is definitely going to be the ones who are desperate, and then there's also going to be the people who haven't been able to ride for however many weeks we end up with, and, you know, need to ease back into it, but will expect to just get back on, crack on where they left off, you know, like that. Like you say, you've got to break it down, and the only place you can start from is where you're at now. So you're gonna have to take that moment just beforehand and think, where am I now in this moment? Don't lie to myself, be honest. Where am I now? Where do I want to get to? Realistically, that will probably have changed in different ways. Is it still relevant? Do I still want to do that? Have I had time to reevaluate? So where am I going to start from, or how am I going to do this? And then there might be some that have been able to carry on riding and they'll be able to just crack on, or others that haven't been able to jump. So, you know, the idea of that, they'll have to get back into it. I know for myself, I haven't been able to ride for 7 weeks. I haven't actually jumped because of the weather and herpes virus and all these different things since I think we went out and whipped out and did a quick bit of combined training in end of January or February or something like that. I think it was. You know, so actually from my perspective, the idea of cracking on with a bit of cross country in the summer is never going to happen in the summer, even if it can. So you're going to have to reevaluate those goals and think about them again. So yeah, I think it would be really interesting to hear people's thoughts on where they're at with that. You're right, entirely. But I think, and I think the other element is we're all going to be in different places, like we always are anyway. There's no change there, really. It's just we think we're all the same. Well, we're not.
Yeah,
not
true. Very true. Have you ever had, see, this is me doing my work.
I know what this is turning into, and I'm going to stop you in a minute because we've only got a few minutes left. Go on, Sue, ask me a question. It's supposed to be a Q&A to you, but it's fine.
Yeah. So have you ever suffered confidence issues?
Yeah, that's why I started this.
Oh,
when
really?
when I had my first horse, which is probably 14 years ago, something like that now, when I had my first horse, when I graduated university and suddenly decided I had money. I've never had any since. I've had horses. He didn't terrify me. The one I had before him terrified me. I had one on loan that would literally dump me on the floor every time I rode him, and would do crazy things, and I'd fall off him and have all sorts of problems. And I was bullied really badly as a child at the yard that I was trying to learn to ride at. And I don't have horsey parents, and they didn't understand it. So I didn't have a great grounding at all. I had every reason to fail at riding, but something in me, don't know where, made me want to do it. And so I have been terrified of hacking, terrified of jumping, terrified of schooling because I would fall off all the time, terrified of competing, terrified of not being good enough, terrified of everyone else being better than me, terrified of the bullies that bullied me when I was like 7, 8, 9, 10 at a yard. You know, like when you grow up with that, then that's what you grow up with, being told you're not good enough, and you get all the crappy ponies and the ones that just bolt around with you. And my first ever experience across country, when I was probably about maybe 10 years old, we were just doing it around our little field at the riding school. I don't know what happened, and I will never know to this day. I just remember crying on the neck of my horse and having to withdraw, and I don't know why. I literally, like, that isn't in my memory. And that affected me clearly for years. And so I've had to go through all of this, which is why I'm so passionate about helping others, because I get it. I've been there, done it. And now look at me going and doing what I do. I'm not jumping around Badminton. I definitely don't want to. I love supporting people that are. That's fab.
Be quite interested to see if there is a link between well, there must be a stigma, but a link between bullying as a child and lack of confidence as an adult, because I was bullied.
I think there almost certainly is, because if we look at how we form beliefs and the age when they have the most effect on us is between sort of 4 or 5 years of age and about 14, 15 is when anything that happens to us creates what we call our belief systems about ourselves. And if you're being bullied during that age, you will start to believe that maybe you aren't good enough, or you're not strong enough, or you are whatever they say you are and things. I mean, I was even bullied by my brother and things like that as well. You know, he still to this day hates me. Well, I'm dealt with it now, so fine, his loss. If he doesn't want a wonderful sister like me around, that's up to him. But, you know, like, you know, it's just, yeah, they affect you. And the thing is, you can change that, again, like you say, with the right help, by knowing how. But yeah, absolutely, they affect you massively, and unless you go in and change that stuff, it will stick with you, and they are what we call limiting beliefs. So yeah. And anyway, before this turns into an interview, Sue, go on. One last question.
Do you ever suffer from lack of confidence now?
Yeah.
Even though that
yeah.
You know, obviously what you do now with your mindset courses and
yeah, because I'm human and I haven't found the can yet. It's hidden somewhere. I know I've got a can of it somewhere. Yes, because it's not that I don't suffer with a loss of confidence, because I do. It's just that I'm able to catch it quickly, examine it, think about what it is, and do something. So yes, I still get them. I still get wobbles. I still get nervous before I go in a jump or something like that. I still am pissing myself before I go cross country, but I accept that as par for the course for what I want to go and do, and I know that I'm doing it because I really want to, for a start. So I'm really clear on my goals. They're always aligned to my values. If they're not, they get changed. I'm always fully aware. I have been known to stop and have a cry in the middle of a lesson for no apparent reason, but I let myself do it. My instructors know that, because I know what I'm talking about. They just go, oh, okay, I don't know why you're doing that, and I go, no, neither do I either, but it doesn't matter, I'll be with you in a minute. So I can process things. You know, I've got a toolkit, but it doesn't mean that there's never a leak in my house. You know, I just know how to plug it. Another analogy, see? And it's like, you know, it's like anything, isn't it? I'm still human. Like, I've still got all the same stuff going on as everyone else. It's just I either catch it quickly and know how to fix it, or know where to go if I can't do it myself. Like before I did the Wobbleberry challenge, I needed to get over some jumping problems. I went to my guy who I trained with and went, help me, because I know I can't do this bit on my own. And he went, yeah, sure, off you go. So it's knowing that you can get help. It's believing that you can. It's knowing you can learn something. It is a mindset. But no, it doesn't mean I don't wet my pants before certain things that are scary to do. And it doesn't mean that the day I go to put my foot in my stirrup on my horse, when I get to see him and ride him again, I don't think, oh, not sure I can remember what I'm doing here. I think the longest I've ever not ridden for is probably maybe 4 weeks, maybe. Certainly not coming up to 7, 8, you know.
That's the hardest thing about this is you're contained in your house with your family. You don't spend that much time usually indoors when you've got horses, and then you've lost your horse as well. It's just
but we have to
hard.
It is hard. It absolutely is hard. There's no denying that. There's lots of ways of looking at it to keep ourselves buoyant, and we know that it will end at some point. It will. This too shall pass. This too shall pass. So before you get to ask me another question, Sue, thank you so much. It's all right. If you've asked me a question, it's okay, because, you know, I'm answering a question that you've asked me as opposed to just sitting there and spouting, which I do on my lives every day. So there we go. So thank you so much, Sue. I just love hearing your story and what you've got to say. And I know loads of people will find so many similarities in them and hopefully be inspired to do something about it. And look, you know, yes, I am available, but there are other people out there. And you've got to find someone that works with you as well, haven't you? Like you say, you went to other people, tried other things. And
don't carry this on your own. That's all I'd say. Don't carry it on your own. Speak to someone. Talk to people.
But to the right people, not the ones that are going to go, oh, I know, it's awful, isn't it? How terrible. Let's all pity party and stay where we are.
Pull yourself together. You'll be fine.
Oh, yeah. Or just get on with it. If you're all right, I don't see the problem. You used to be able to do that. No, I know. That's why it's annoying.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, Sue. If anyone wants to get in contact with you, your page is Adventures with Dolly. They can watch you on there. They can contact you on there, can't they? And,
they can, yeah.
And hopefully those that are coming to camp, let's hope camp goes ahead, but we shall see. I will come to everyone about camp with an update on it as soon as I've got one. I'm in discussions with the venue at the moment. We're just having to play it by ear at the moment. So cool.
And Confidence in Cans will be available from July at all good stockists.
Yes, we will make sure that we get those into the major supermarkets. Thanks, Sue. Take care.
See you later. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.